Hi, everyone, and hello to all the workers out there who are watching us live on Twitter and Facebook today for our Solidarity Season conversation. My name is Joy. I am an airport service worker in Dallas, Texas, and I am thrilled to be joined today by airport workers from Charlotte and Phoenix, and also who are also taking action today here with us, as well as fierce worker leaders from Starbucks and Fight for 15. We love this solidarity. Solidarity is our power. We are here today because we are fed up, and we're fed up with corporate greed. We're fed up with the low wages and the disrespect. Today, airport service workers at American Airlines hubs in Charlotte, Dallas, and Phoenix are using our collective power to demand all workers are respected, protected, and paid. While airlines like American Airlines are bragging about record profits, we're struggling in record high heat without the water or breaks we need to stay safe. We are at the boiling point, and we are demanding Congress take action to fix this broken air travel system. And it starts with respecting the Black, brown, and immigrant workers that help make air travel possible. We aren't alone in our fight. Starbucks workers, fast food workers, Kaiser Healthcare workers, UAW auto workers, flight attendants, pilots, actors, writers are united and showing solidarity like never before. Welcome to Solidarity Season.
This a reminder.
Worker strikes and solidarity are spreading.
This a reminder.
What's up, hot? You do? Yeah, I'm built it. You never. No script, but it's not sad. Come to the what? Oh!
Summer is ending. Solidarity is not. Join the fight.
We know corporations are using every trick in the book to keep working people from building power in a union. But Starbucks workers have defied the odds and won their union. Yoko, I know you all just had an amazing show of power on September 14th on demand to demand Starbucks respect baristas and come to the table to bargain a contract. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Of course, and thank you so much, Joy. On September 14th, there were hundreds of customer-led actions of solidarity at not yet unionized locations across the country. And this is where customers talk to each other about Starbucks Workers United and the union busting tactics that have been used against their partners. It was one of our biggest days of actions on our entire campaign, and the momentum continued heavily after the summer bus tour, which I was fortunate enough to be a part of. The Starbus tour brought lots of workers together. We took bargaining demands and passionate partners from across the country all the way to Starbucks headquarters in Seattle to deliver our bargaining demands. Connecting with workers, not only from Starbucks Workers United, but from groups like Fight for 15 was surreal. One of the greatest things I experienced was the overwhelming amount of solidarity. I realized that solidarity means workers from different places working together to obtain better rights and fair treatment. Partners partook in actions like leafleting and adopt-a-stores to educate customers on what is truly happening inside of their favorite coffee shops. As of today, there are 350 plus stores that have petitioned to unionize across 42 states. This is impressive considering it has only been 2 years since the first stores in Buffalo filed for their election. My store won our election in July of 2022, and similar to the 350 plus stores, we have yet to be bargained with, and we have faced negative changes in our workplace that make work harder. For example, my store only has 4 shift supervisors, whereas most stores have about 6 to 7. Starbucks presents itself as a progressive company that values their employees. They do have benefits, however, our bosses have the power to prevent us from receiving them, specifically through things like hour cuts. This is why it is important for workers to stick together in order to create a better environment. Starbucks is one of the worst violators of federal labor laws in US history. Rather than bargaining in good faith with us, they have cut hours, closed stores, and intimidated workers as part of their union busting campaign. This is why these actions, like September 14th, are so important, because they show Starbucks that we are not backing down until we receive what it is that we deserve.
Thank you so much, Yoko. We know we need to stick together in these fights. Now, can I hear from Ingrid Villorio from the Fight for 15 and a union. Just last week, we saw all of y'all's hard work pay off. For over a decade, fast food workers have been fighting for fair wages um, and for a union. In California, fast food workers got so much closer by introducing legislation to give workers a seat at the table and raise their minimum wage to $20. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that fight?
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Ingrid Vilorio, soy trabajadora de la industria de comida rápida por hace 4 años y pues tengo 2 años de ser parte de la lucha por 15 y un sindicato. Después de que en la pandemia de COVID yo me enfermé de COVID-19 y mi industria no quería pagarme mis 2 semanas de incapacidad por COVID. En ese momento tenía mucho miedo, pero siempre tenemos compañeros que ya están en el sindicato y uno de ellos se acercó a mí, me explicó que tenía derechos, que podía salir y podía defender mis derechos como trabajadora, y desde entonces soy parte de la lucha por 15 y un sindicato. Ahora estamos a punto de ganar $20 la hora y un asiento en la mesa. Y este es un logro muy grande porque han sido 10 años de trabajo en que hemos salido a huelga, hemos ido a cabildeos, hemos hablado con nuestros legisladores, hemos hablado con nuestros senadores y estamos a punto de sentarnos con nuestras corporaciones y lograr más de lo que muchos creyeron un día que nosotros no podíamos lograr, pero han sido 10 años de trabajo.
Hi everyone, my name is Ingrid. I have worked in the fast food industry for 4 years now. I first got involved in the Fight for 15 and a union 2 years ago when I contracted COVID-19. At the time, I had to take time off to recover from COVID. I took 2 weeks off, and when I returned to work, my employer did not want to pay me my right to sick pay related to COVID. My coworker told me about the Fight for 15 and how I have the right to receive back pay from being out for COVID. And from there, my coworker and I, we organized a strike in our store. We went out and we demanded for our back pay, and we won. We won our back pay, and from there, it showed us that we do have a right to speak up and demand for our rights, and that if we fight, we win. Most recently, we're at the brink of winning $20 an hour and a seat at the table. This is a fight that has been going on for 10 years now. And these past 10 years, we've been going on strike. We've been submitting complaints. We have been going to our legislators, lobbying, and we're about to see the fruit of our labor really come together. And so I'm really excited to see this legislation.
Well, thank you, Ingrid. Gracias. That is amazing victory. Now I'd like to bring on Janae Van DeKirk, a wheelchair agent in Phoenix, who recently was part of a group of workers who filed an OSHA complaint about unsafe work conditions in the unbelievable heat this summer. It's been over 110 degrees in Phoenix for over 50 days. So Janae, tell us why you are speaking out and taking action today.
Thank you, Joy. As Joy said, I'm a passenger service agent, which means that I push passengers in wheelchairs to and from their gates, assist them through security, anything that they need help with. Many of the passengers have disabilities or are unable to walk the long distances. So we are responsible to get them around the airport safely. As airport workers, we're fighting for health insurance, PTO, and higher wages. But as I near retirement, I still have several years to go, health insurance is becoming more and more important. I was on my employer's health insurance until recently when I switched down to part-time, and then I was not eligible for it. One of the reasons that I chose this job was because of the health insurance for full-time workers. I was very surprised to find out that many of my coworkers are not able to pay for the health insurance that is offered through the company. Many, in fact, are on the state health care, which recently lowered their maximum amount. So I have had some coworkers reduce the hours that they work in order to stay on the state insurance. So right now, my husband still works. He retires in about a year. So I'm on his health insurance until then. When he does retire, I'll have to find something else. So I went down to part-time because this job is so hard on the body. People don't realize, but you're pushing heavy wheelchairs up and down ramps. People come in different sizes. They have luggage we have to help with that can be quite heavy. Your muscles get stronger, but your joints don't adapt. My joints hurt most of the time because of the high heat that we've been experiencing here in Phoenix. Muscle aches. Many of my coworkers and I suffered headaches the whole time. There are ways that we kind of adapt for the heat. You know, everyone knows that Phoenix is hot in the summer. So we need water breaks. We need to be able to sit down and just rest for a couple minutes. Those are things we are not allowed. It is beginning to cool off now, so that does help make us feel better. It's only 109 degrees right now, which is kind of cool. But this is why we filed the OSHA complaint. We needed to bring attention to our working conditions in the extreme heat. Given how difficult this job is on the body, the toll that it takes on the body, it's essential that we have employer-paid health care. And in order to get affordable health care through our employer, we need federal action. We need the government to step in and mandate it. Airlines and companies like mine, which are work through contracts, need to be held accountable to the workers. And that's why we filed the OSHA complaint.
Thank you so much, Janae. It's been hot here in Dallas too, so I can definitely relate there with you. That's why we're fighting, right? That's why we're fighting. Now I'd like to bring Jeffrey Sanders from Kaiser. You and your coworkers are bargaining a new contract and just authorized a strike for $85,000. This could shut down hospitals across the country and would be the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. Jeffrey, please tell us a bit about what you're fighting for.
Thank you, Joy. I'm Jeffrey Sanders. I work at Kaiser Permanente Northwest in Portland, Oregon. My role is a materials coordinator. I have been employed by Kaiser for the past 7 years and a proud member of my local union, SEIU Local 49. So to your question, one of the big things our fight is about is the short staffing crisis. And I want to be clear that the pandemic only exacerbated and exposed what was already a short staffing crisis. During the pandemic, we were labeled essential workers. We had to show up to work every day, make sure our patients were taken care of, make sure they had the supplies that they need for our workers to provide care. That's in my position specifically. And this meant putting aside our fears and our anxiety to fulfill our role as essential workers. And so coming out of that in a year where our contract is expiring, instead of being rewarded for all of our hard work and sacrifice, uh, management has been stringing us along in these contract negotiations, even repeatedly refusing to meet with us, which is beyond disrespectful. It's beyond hurtful. And that is why we are ready to strike. As I said, I'm a proud member of my union, SEIU Local 49, also a part of the coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions. And so when I say that we as healthcare workers at Kaiser Permanente would be going on strike, I'm talking about 85,000 workers and their families all going on strike at the same time across the country, which, as you said, this would be the largest healthcare strike in the history of this country. I want to be clear that a strike is the last resort, but we are ready to do this because we care about our patients. We care about our healthcare workers. We're demanding that Kaiser do the right thing. We've been backed into a corner, and we care so much about the quality of care that we provide to our patients that we know we have to take a stand and fight for what is right. In fact, we have a chant that we use on our picket lines and we'll use on the strike lines. What's this about? Patient care. Hey, what's it about? Patient care. This is all about our patients. We know there's a staffing crisis. Workers are being put through extreme circumstances, the low wages, the burnout. It's all making it harder to attract and attain workers. But this isn't by chance. Kaiser Permanente is behaving just like any other big, greedy corporation, with executives making millions instead of investing in their workers and investing in patient care. So we are ready to hold Kaiser accountable for this.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, indeed. I know you all will get exactly what you all deserve as well. Now I'd like to hear from Shonda Barber, a trash truck driver at Charlotte Douglas International Airport.
And thank you, Joy. My name is LaShonda Barber. I am a trash truck driver at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. I empty trash off American Airlines flights. My job is very physical demanding. I lift and drop off lots of heavy trash bags all day long. I have back and shoulder and hand pain. I take ibuprofen throughout the day just to get through my shift. Many of my coworkers also suffer from these tense pains. We aren't given proper equipment and materials, so we often have to have trash that breaks on us, covering us in garbage fluids, international garbage fluids at that. These are terrible working conditions. I work a little over 40 hours a week, but was working over 70 hours with a lot of overtime. It was still hard to pay my bills. Now it's harder. I'm really struggling paying my bills. I had to stop going to physical therapy after 5 weeks because my deductible wasn't met. And I have to get it met before the insurance can even pay anything. We need quality benefits and we need respect. We fed up. Me and my coworkers and I can't take this anymore. That's why we are standing up today. That American Airlines made over $14 billion in profits, and our wages have barely budged over 20 years. We need Congress to take action and include the good jobs for good airports, fair wage, and benefit standards in the upcoming FAA reauthorization bill.
Exactly, Shauna. Thank you so much, and congratulations on that union win, because that is that's huge. But again, we know the fight isn't over, and we are taking on huge corporations who are putting their profits first and leaving working people like us stranded. And I just want to tell you a little bit more about why I'm here. I provide baggage services for American Airlines. I've worked at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport for over a year and a half now. And my coworkers and I in Dallas cannot afford our bills on just $15 an hour. After taxes, that's about $1,800 a month to live on. That's unacceptable. And we are worth more than that. We are the heartbeat of this airline and the airlines and all these other subcontractor companies. And the airlines aren't struggling, so they're making in billions. So, you know, while we put off doctor's appointments and important surgeries because we can't afford it. Recently, I had toe surgery. I had no paid time off. I had no health care coverage. I paid completely out of pocket, but I had to have it. You know, it's things that we have to do. That's what you juggle in life. And even with the bachelor's and master's degree, a lot of people may ask, you know, why don't we just find another job? Why don't you just find another job? It's not the point. I love my job. I enjoy my job at the airport, and I like working there. But we can't continue like this. That's why we are demanding good jobs for good airports to be written into the FAA reauthorization. We're demanding Black, brown immigrant workers be treated with respect, compensated fairly, while the profits we create for the work that we do by making air travel possible. Congress has the opportunity to fix all of this. Don't leave us workers like us stranded. All of y'all stories have been powerful. We're all dealing with the similar and same things of going through this struggle, as you can see from state to state, clear across the country. It's so powerful to have everyone on the call all together to see how similar these situations really are. And we're all standing against corporate greed and demanding to be respected, protected, and paid. So now I want to hear from everyone in this conversation. What does solidarity season mean to you?
I used to be a school teacher, and I belonged to the teachers union. I have seen firsthand what a strong union can do for its workers. We need a strong union for airport workers. We need somebody to give us a voice and fight for our rights. Solidarity provides strength in numbers. And that strength is what gets us what we deserve. And this is what I hope to be able to achieve as airport workers. There are workers across the country rising up, also in different industries along with the airport service workers. We are only strong if we have support from these other workers. In order to shut things down, you need workers of a lot of different types standing with you to support you and be with you in case worse comes to worse and we have to go on strike. For us, having other workers in the air industry is essential. They see what we do and what we go through. They know what we're fighting for, and they stand with us. It strengthens our position, and it's very encouraging. And I'd like to thank them for their support in this. By bringing us all together, it's a much more powerful image and a more powerful voice. And that's what we need to move people.
Solidarity season means to me that this is not just a fast food worker fight. This is not just a healthcare worker fight. And this is not just an airport worker fight. This is a collective fight that we are all a part of, that we are all working for a common good for us. We're taking matters back into our own hands. And so I think it's extremely powerful because on the front lines of these actions, we see all types of workers, not just Starbucks workers, not just fast food workers, not just hospital workers, not just airport workers, but all of us together. So I think that's what solidarity season means, is showing up for your brother and sister rather than just showing up for people that work for your company.
Okay. So solidarity to me, meaning if people don't stand up together, the company won't take us seriously, and we see our issues. We all need to stand up together because we deserve better. Airport workers who will be affected by the Good Jobs for Good Airports Act, federal wage and benefit standards are at over 130 airports. That's huge. We connecting the country in an essential way. But we also working alongside flight attendants, pilots, factory workers, and exaggerate more. And like Jamie said, we all when all of these people stand up with us, we become unbeatable. And unbeatable is what we are as a union.
Okay, if I can hear from Ingrid on what solidarity season means to her.
Para mí, la temporada solidaria significa todas las carencias que están adentro ahorita de la industria. Y es por eso es que muchas corporaciones no han querido abrir las puertas y los trabajadores hemos tenido que salir y alzar la voz y decir qué es lo que está pasando dentro de la industria y hacerles saber no solo a los empleadores, sino a la ciudadanía en general que queremos un mejor trabajo, que queremos tener derechos en nuestro trabajo, que tenemos el derecho de estar en un lugar seguro en nuestro trabajo y que no vamos a parar de salir y alzar la voz hasta que las corporaciones se sienten a la mesa con sus trabajadores. Y como algo muy importante es more worker, more power. Más trabajadores, más poder.
Ingrid says solidarity season to me has shown me that industries across the board need to pay better and improve their working conditions. We are in a first world country, but it feels like us workers are not being treated as citizens of a first world country. Farm workers, Starbucks workers, and fast food workers are all fighting for better pay and end to discrimination and respect. So we've talked to our employers and tried to communicate our concerns and issues, but they ignored us. So we went out and they left us with no choice but to strike. Seeing workers from all different industries go on strike this summer has shown me that workers need to stay together more than ever. We can change our working conditions and demand a living wage, but we can only do this if all workers come together, and this summer has showed us that it is possible.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for that, Ingrid. And if we can hear from Jeffrey, what solidarity season means to you?
Yes, Joy, solidarity season. I mean, solidarity matters more than ever right now because corporations and CEOs, the people with the money, are counting on the fact that they can break us because they know that we are afraid to go on strike because the thought of going without income for a week or longer when we're already living to paycheck is just it's scary. And they are banking on people being so afraid that they will cross the picket line and go back to work. And that's our challenge. We have to overcome our fear. We have to have each other's backs across all industries and stay together. They will try to divide and conquer. That's why we have to stay united and stand in solidarity to do the right thing for our working class families.
That is absolutely right, Jeffrey. You said that very well. You guys, this has all been so exciting. Thank you so much for this. And we're all looking forward to seeing what happens in all of our fights in the upcoming months. We have to make sure we continue to stand united against rigged rules and corporate greed. The September 30th deadline is right around the corner. The clock is ticking. The question now is Congress going to listen to us Black, brown, and immigrant workers that are standing up today? Until this happens, we're going to have to continue to fight. And when we fight, we what? We win. That's in anything. So this is why we're here today. We are fighting. We're going to continue to fighting. The fight will never stop. So continue to use everything you can. Give it your all. Let's push. Let's continue to push. Don't give up because we will never give up. The fight is always ours. And again, we will get the victory every time. Thank you so much, guys. I can't wait to meet all of you in person and many more of you. You know, blessings to your journeys. And thank you again for being on